In my latest deep dive into the Merfolk race in Pathfinder 1E, I talked about your different options in this treasure trove of a race. Enchanting bards, dashing swashbucklers, and deadly sea sorcerers. But now it's time to bring the crown jewel to the surface. The terror of the seas, the sinker of ships, the big bad DPS with armored scales so hard you're not a glass cannon, you're a diamond cannon. That's right, Merfolk, Dragon Disciple. You'll be sending so many souls to Davy Jones' locker, he'll appoint you the honorary captain of the Flying Dutchman. But before I get into how exactly you hand out elemental curb stompings without even having legs, if you're in need of a Pathfinder 1E adventure, have a look at Sorceress, the Dietrich House. Designed for a party of 4 level 3 characters, this adventure has sinister mysteries, unsolved crimes, and a haunted house full of lurking terrors to challenge your players. As well as unexpected treasures courtesy of the dynamic and thematic loot system, which makes for compelling rewards for those willing to brave the depths of the Dietrich House. Available right now on DriveThruRPG. Alright, now let's break down how to build a Merfolk Dragon Disciple. Obviously, your race is going to be Merfolk. Your ability score bonuses are +2 to Dexterity, Constitution, and Charisma. Your size is medium. Your base speed is 50 feet, swimming, and 5 feet, walking. You get a +2 natural armor bonus. You have the legless trait. This means you cannot be tripped. And you have low light vision. Some alternative racial features you might consider. First up, Secret Magic. This gives you a +1 to the DC of your enchantment spells, but more importantly, it gives you Fins to Feet as a spell-like ability usable 1 time per day. You'll lose out on your natural armor bonus and 10 feet of your swim speed. But if you really feel like you need mobility options early in the game, this is a trait worth considering. Of course, there's also the Merfolk Adventurer staple, Strong Tail. This gives you a 15-foot walking speed and a 30-foot swimming speed. Now that you're up to date on the basics of the race, let's talk about your ability scores and what's important for this build. Your most important ability score is Charisma. This is used for your spell casting. Next up is Dexterity. This will affect your AC and your ability to hit. Then there's Constitution. This affects your survivability and your hit points. A nice Constitution modifier will offset your small hit dice at early levels. Next up are Wisdom and Intelligence. Wisdom matters because it impacts your will saves. Now, don't let Intelligence go by the wayside. You need skill points to get access to certain prerequisites. Your dump stat, the least important stat, is going to be Strength. You're not going to be doing a lot of melee fighting. That's not where your damage and your power comes from. Next, let's talk about your starting class, Sorcerer. Sorcerers are proficient with simple weapons, and you incur arcane spell failure when wearing armor. Don't worry, you have other means of raising your AC. Now, as a first level sorcerer, you'll need to pick your bloodline. Obviously, you're going to go with the Draconic bloodline. The Draconic bloodline makes Perception a class skill for you. Also, you will receive your Bloodline Arcana. For the Draconic bloodline, you get +1 point of damage for any spell that deals damage of your bloodline's energy type. This corresponds to the dragon that you trace your lineage back to. The ones I recommend most are Blue and Bronze for electricity damage and Red and Gold for fire damage. Spells like Shocking Grasp, Lightning Bolt, Scorching Ray, and Fireball are major damage dealers. Now, let's talk about your bloodline powers. At first level, you'll get Claws. A number of times per day equal to your Charisma modifier +3. You can make 2 claw attacks. Your claws deal 1d4 damage. At 7th level, your claw damage increases to 1d6, and at 11th level, your claws deal an additional 1d6 damage of your energy type. At 3rd level, you'll get Dragon Resistances. This gives you resistance 5 to your energy type and a +1 natural armor bonus. Unfortunately, this overlaps with your +2 natural armor bonus that you get from your race. But if you gave that up for secret magic, you'll still be able to get the benefits of natural armor. At 9th level, your energy resistance increases to +10, and your natural armor bonus increases to +2. At 15th level, your natural armor bonus will increase to +4, overtaking your racial natural armor bonus. At 9th level, you'll gain a breath weapon. Your breath weapon deals 1d6 damage of your energy type in a shape determined by your bloodline. This damage increases by 1d6 per sorcerer level. You can use this ability 1 time per day at 9th, 2 times per day at 17th, and 3 times per day at 20th. At 15th level, you'll get wings. You can grow wings as a standard action and fly at a speed of 60 feet with average maneuverability. You can maintain your wings indefinitely and put them back in your body somehow, as a swift action. Finally, your capstone ability is Power of Worms. At 20th level, you gain immunity to paralysis, sleep, and damage of your energy type, as well as blind sense out to 60 feet. Finally, you'll be getting a couple of bonus spells as a sorcerer. At 3rd level, Mage Armor will be added to your list of spells known, and Energy Resistance will be added to your list of spells known at 5th level. Alright, now that you know all the draconic goodies that you're going to get as a dragon lineage sorcerer, let's talk about your prestige class, Dragon Disciple. There are a couple of requirements for you to take this prestige class. First off, languages. You must be able to speak Draconic. You can take this at character creation if you have an intelligence score that gives you at least a +1 modifier. Next requirement is spellcasting. You have to have the ability to cast 1st level arcane spells without preparation. Finally, there are skills. You have to have 5 ranks in Knowledge Arcane. What this means is you will not be able to take Dragon Disciple until you are at least level 6, assuming that you put a point into Knowledge Arcane at every level. As a Dragon Disciple, your HD will increase from a Sorceress D6 to a Mighty D12. This is a huge HP increase. You do not gain any additional proficiencies with weapons and armor. Additionally, Dragon Disciple affects your spells per day. At Dragon Disciple levels 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 10, you gain an effective sorcerer level for the purposes of determining your spells per day and caster level. Essentially, what this means is you'll be casting at -3. If you go all the way to 20th level, this will remove your 9th level spells and decrease your effective caster level. But the things you get out of Dragon Disciple are so good, it's totally worth it. The next class feature of Dragon Disciple is Blood of Dragons. What this means is your Dragon Disciple levels stack with your Sorcerer levels when determining your bloodline powers. So everything I went over when discussing your bloodline powers, you still get, even though you're not taking any levels in Sorcerer. The final thing you get as a 1st level Dragon Disciple is a natural armor increase. Unlike those other natural armor bonuses that you've gotten, these are increases to the natural armor that you already have. So they stack, increasing your overall bonus. These bonuses come at 1st level, 4th level, and 7th level, and it's a +1 each time. By the time you hit level 15, you will be rocking a +7 natural armor bonus. Next, you get ability boosts. You gain a +2 to strength at 2nd level, another +2 to strength at 4th level, a +2 to constitution at 6th level, and a +2 to intelligence at 8th level. Next, bloodline feats. At 2nd level, 5th level, and 8th level, you gain a bonus feat from the Draconic Sorcerer bonus feat list. Your choices are Blind Fight, Great Fortitude, Improved Initiative, Power Attack, Quickened Spell, Skill Focus Fly, Skill Focus Knowledge Arcane, and Toughness. Next, at 2nd level, you get Dragon Bite. When you use your Claw ability, you also gain a Bite attack that deals 1d6 plus Strength and a half. At 6th level, your Bite deals an additional 1d6 energy damage. At 3rd level, you get your Breath Weapon. This means a couple of things. First off, you're effectively getting your Breath Weapon a level earlier than you would have had you continued to go down the line of Draconic Sorcerer. And on top of that, next time you level up, you get an additional use of your Breath Weapon. Now at 5th level, you get Blind Sense. This gives you Blind Sense out to 30 feet. At 10th level, as Dragon Disciple, this range increases to 60 feet. This ability does not alter the blind sense you would get from Power of Worms. Now at 7th level, you get Dragon Form. You can assume the form of a dragon. This functions as Form of the Dragon 1. You get a +4 size bonus to Strength, a +2 size bonus to Constitution, and a +4 natural armor bonus. This will be better than your base natural armor, whether you're getting it from your race or your class. You get a fly speed of 60 feet, dark vision out to 60 feet, a breath weapon that deals 6d8 damage, usable 1 time per transformation, a varying level of energy resistance based on the type associated with your bloodline, and a 1d8 bite and 2 1d6 claw attacks. The transformation lasts for 1 minute per level. You can use this ability 1 time per day. At 10th level, this ability becomes usable 2 times per day and is upgraded to Form of the Dragon 2. Your size increases from medium to large. You get a +6 bonus to Strength, a +4 bonus to Constitution, and a +6 natural armor bonus. You get DR5, bypassed by magic, and your breath weapon deals 8d8 damage and is usable 2 times per transformation. The final ability you get as a Dragon Disciple is Wings at 9th level. This would be 1 level earlier than when you get your wings as a Draconic Sorcerer, and when you level up, your fly speed will increase to 90 feet instead of 60. Now that we've gone over all of the cool class features that you get, let's talk about feats. The feats I recommend for this build are, at 1st level, Magic Trick Floating Disc. Take this feat at 1st level so you can start putting ranks in Fly, so you can get your Flying Disc at 3rd level. You'll have 3 hours with it, and 30 feet of movement per round, putting you in the same movement category as all your friends. At 3rd level, take Shield Proficiency. This will let you use the Defensive Disc trick, adding a +4 shield bonus to your AC. At 5th level, take Spell Focus Evocation. At 7th level, take Spell Specialization. Choose your best DPS spell, such as Fireball or Lightning Bolt. This feat lets you treat the spell as 2 caster levels higher, giving you additional damage die. Now, every time you gain a new level, you can change your spell specialization, which will let you keep up with whatever your best DPS spell is at the time. The final feat I'm going to recommend is at 9th level, and that's Intensified Spell. This is a fantastic metamagic feat. It lets you increase the number of damage dice of any spell that you're casting to a total of 5 additional dice, provided you have the caster levels, of course. Casting a spell with this metamagic feat increases the spell slot needed by 1. So to give you an example, if you're level 10 and you use Intensified Spell to cast Shocking Grasp, you would deal 10 d6 of electric damage and cast it as a second level spell. Now then, let me give you a word on skills. Skills are important for this build, particularly Fly, Knowledge Arcane, and Linguistics. So particularly at early levels, you're going to want to use your favorite class bonus for skill points instead of HP. You also won't be able to take advantage of your favorite class bonus very much, because that will be Sorcerer, and you're going to be putting a lot of levels into Dragon Disciple. Finally, I'd like to end this build guide for Merfolk Dragon Disciple with my thoughts for the best spells you have access to for your energy type. Beginning with Fire, red and gold. At first level, Burning Hands. It's not much to start off with, but it can be helpful in certain situations, particularly when dealing with swarms or you want to hit a number of enemies. Also, using metamagic feats can add a lot of damage and range to this spell. At second level, Scorching Ray. This is a good standby that lets you throw a lot of fire damage out there. Another one to consider is Flaming Sphere. This creates a ball of fire you're able to move around at will. You do this as a move action. The fireball persists for 1 round per caster level and deals 3d6 of fire damage to whatever it touches. At third level, obviously, you're going to want to grab Fireball. It's absolutely iconic and very powerful. Then at fourth level, consider Wall of Fire, its good crowd control, and Flaming Sphere Greater, which will deal 6d6 of damage instead of 3d6. Our next damage type is Electricity, associated with Blue and Bronze Dragons. At first level, Shocking Grasp. This is a very powerful spell, but you may need to alter your feat choices if you want to go with this energy type. I'd recommend you take Weapon Finesse at first level, then Spell Focus Evocation, and at fifth level, Spell Specialization, so you can start stacking extra d6 onto your Shocking Grasp. Second level spells to consider are Aggressive Thundercloud. This deals 3d6 of electric damage, and you can move your Thundercloud as a move action where you'd like. It's just the electric version of Flaming Sphere. Another spell to consider is Spectral Hand. This creates a spooky floating hand that you can use to deliver your Shocking Grasps. You will still need Weapon Finesse, because the attacks from your Spectral Hand are calculated normally. At third level, obviously, you're going to want to grab Lightning Bolt. 1d6 of electric damage per level. Maxes out at 10d6, and you could get it all the way to 15d6 with Intensified. The last spell I'd like to talk about for electricity is a fourth level spell, Ball Lightning. This creates 2 + 1 per 4 caster levels beyond 7th, balls of electricity that deal 3d6 points of electric damage. These balls of electricity last for 1 round per caster level, and you can direct them where you like as a move action. Our next energy type is Cold, associated with Silver and White. Not as strong a choice as your previous options, but I think it's still viable. At first level, take your workhorse of a spell, Snowball. This deals 1d6 points of cold damage to a maximum of 5d6. You deliver this spell as a ranged touch attack. Make that snowball last, because the next consequential ice spell you're going to get is Ice Storm. This deals 3d6 of bludgeoning and 2d6 of cold damage. Not great. I highly recommend an elemental metamagic rod if you want to throw a lot of ice around. Balls of ice, or ice bolts. You might also think about, summoning ice elementals. Alright, last energy type, Acid. associated with black, green, and copper. For all of you swamp merfolk. If you choose this energy type, you'll struggle to find relevant spells, but many fewer creatures will have resistance to your damage type, so that's a plus. At first level, Corrosive Touch. This is another one for weapon finesse. It deals 1d4 points of acid damage per caster level at a max of plus 5d4 when you hit 5th level, and it's a conjuration spell. At 2nd level, Acid Arrow. This deals 2d4 of acid damage. You get an additional 2d4 for every 3 caster levels. In addition, the duration of the acid damage increases to a maximum of 6 rounds. Acid Arrow is also a conjuration spell. When you get 4th level spells, definitely take Acid Pit. This makes a pit with acid at the bottom. So they'll take both falling damage and 2d6 of acid damage as they struggle to escape from your pit that you've conjured into existence. Now on to 5th level spells. When you get Acid Spray, this is when it actually starts getting good. If you're willing to wait this long, you get a spell that does 1d6 acid damage per caster level, maxing out at 15d6. The acid will do additional damage 1 round later. The damage is 1d6 per 2 caster levels, maxing out at 7d6. Much like cold damage, if you want to throw a lot of acid around, take a Metamagic Rod. For acid bolts and caustic hands. A lot of these spells are conjuration related, so you might want to think about throwing in something like Cloud of Sickness or Cloud Kill. Maybe a little necromancy for your scary, caustic swamp merfolk. Thank you very much for watching this Merfolk Dragon Disciple build guide in Pathfinder 1E from D6 Damage. If you're interested in books, miniatures, and much more for Pathfinder and D&D or Warhammer, check out Noble Knight Games by following the link in the description. Also, if you're interested in a haunted house adventure, check out Sorceress, the Dietrich House, available right now on DriveThruRPG. Finally, if you'd like to take your game further, join the D6 Damage Discord. We have great discussions about all aspects of Pathfinder, strategy guides, character builds, DMing tips, and much more. The Discord link is in the description.